Hello friends, today we discuss about refraction of plane wave and Snell's law. Now we already discussed about the Huygens principle right yesterday. Now today we discuss about the refraction of plane wave, and by use of it we prove the Snell's law. We know the equation n1 sin theta 1 is equals to n2 sin theta 2, right? Now see here, this is the surface which separate the medium 1 and medium 2. So here this is medium 1 and this is medium 2, right? Medium 1 and medium 2, right? Now here we assume that the speed of light in medium 1 is v1 and speed of light in medium 2 is v2. I repeat once again, here we assume that the speed of light in medium 1 is v1 and speed of light in medium 2 is v2, and here we assume that v1 greater than v2. Say the speed of light in medium 1 is greater than in medium 2, right? Now suppose we assume that a plane wavefront is propagate like this, okay? So this is the plane medium. Yesterday we already discussed about the plane wavefront, right? So this is the plane wavefront in this medium 1 incident at angle I. So here this is the plane wavefront incident at this surface. We name this surface E1 E2, right? So here the surface separating the two medium is E1 E2. The speed of light in medium 1 is v1, speed of light in medium 2 is v2. Here we consider v1 greater than v2. Say the speed of light in medium 1 is greater than medium 2. Here you can see that a plane wavefront is incident on the surface E1 E2 at angle I, right? Now this is the normal, like this. Like this. This is the normal, right? Now here we consider this medium 1 is rarer medium. So this is rarer medium and this is denser medium, right? So here the wavefront goes from rarer medium to denser medium, right? So see here, હવે જો આ wavefront AB plane wavefront is incident on this surface E1 E2 at angle I, which is an incident angle, right? Now here you can see that a point, or we can say a particle of this wavefront AB, the particle A is already on the surface. Now here the particle B also went to the surface E1 E2. So suppose we assume that let the time tau, which is the time taken by wavefront to travel B to this surface E1 E2. એટલે કે અહીંયા આપણે એવું એઝ્યુમ કરીએ છીએ કે આ બી પરના પાર્ટિકલને આ સરફેસ સુધી જવા માટેનો ટાઈમ ટાઉ છે. હવે આપણે ગઈકાલે જોયું હતું we know that velocity is equals to distance by time tau. So the distance d is equals to velocity into time tau, right? We already discussed this. So આ જે બી પરનો પાર્ટિકલ છે એને આ સરફેસ સુધી જવું હોય તો એ કેટલું ડિસ્ટન્સ કવર કરશે? વી ટાઉ જેટલું ડિસ્ટન્સ કવર કરશે. બટ આ જે ડિસ્ટન્સ કવર કરશે ક્યાં હશે? મીડિયમ વનમાં. સો મીડિયમ વનમાં વેલોસિટી છે v1. સો ડિસ્ટન્સ d ઇઝ ઇક્વલ્સ ટુ v1 ઇન્ટુ ટાઉ, રાઈટ? સો આ જે બીથી આ જે સરફેસ છે E1 E2 ત્યાં સુધીનું ડિસ્ટન્સ થશે, આ જે ડિસ્ટન્સ હશે v1 ઇન્ટુ ટાઉ, રાઈટ? તો આ કન્ડિશનમાં જે પાર્ટિકલ હશે બી પરનો એ આ જે સરફેસ છે એ સરફેસ પર પહોંચશે, રાઈટ? સો આઈ રિપીટ વન્સ અગેન. હિયર E1 E2 represent the surface separating medium 1 and medium 2 as shown in figure. Here v1 and v2 represent the speed of light in medium 1 and medium 2 respectively. Here v1 greater than v2. Now a plane wavefront AB propagate in this direction, right, and incident on the interface of two medium at angle I, right? Now let the time tau be the time taken by the wavefront to travel B to C. So the distance is velocity is equals to distance by time tau. So the distance is velocity into time tau. But here for medium 1 velocity is v1. So the distance is v1 into tau, right? Now હવે આપણે વેવફ્રન્ટનો શેપ ફાઇન્ડ આઉટ કરવો છે, રિફ્રેક્ટેડ વેવફ્રન્ટ, રાઈટ? તો હવે જ્યારે આ બી પાર્ટિકલ સી સુધી ટ્રાવેલ કરશે ત્યારે આ એ પાર્ટિકલ પણ આગળ ટ્રાવેલ કરશે, રાઈટ? પણ આ જે એ પાર્ટિકલ છે કેટલું ટ્રાવેલ કરશે? તો વી નો ધી ફોર્મ્યુલા, ડિસ્ટન્સ ઇઝ ઇક્વલ્સ ટુ વેલોસિટી ઇન્ટુ ટાઈમ ટાઉ, રાઈટ? તો વેલોસિટી ઇન્ટુ ટાઈમ ટાઉ. બટ આ જે એ પરનો પાર્ટિકલ છે કયા મીડિયમમાં હવે ટ્રાવેલ કરશે? સેકન્ડ મીડિયમમાં, રાઈટ? તો સેકન્ડ મીડિયમમાં વેલોસિટી કેટલી છે? v2. તો ડિસ્ટન્સ થશે d ઇઝ ઇક્વલ્સ ટુ v2 ઇન્ટુ ટાઉ. તો આપણને ખબર છે કે આ જે છે એ પરનો પાર્ટિકલ એ ઇન્ડિપેન્ડન્ટ સોર્સ તરીકે એક્ટ કરશે અને વેવ એમિટ કરશે, રાઈટ? તો આપણે આ જે ડિસ્ટન્સ છે કેટલું ડિસ્ટન્સ થશે? તો ડિસ્ટન્સ ઇઝ ઇક્વલ્સ ટુ વેલોસિટી ઇન્ટુ ટાઉ, ટાઈમ ટાઉ. સો ધ ડિસ્ટન્સ ઇઝ v2 ઇન્ટુ ટાઉ. તો આપણે આ જે એ પોઈન્ટ છે એ પોઈન્ટ પરથી v2 ઇન્ટુ ટાઉ જેટલો ડાયામીટર લઈને શું ડ્રો કરીશું? સ્ફિયર. તો આ સ્ફિયર આપણે ડ્રો કરીએ છીએ જેનો ડાયામીટર કેટલો થશે? v2 ઇન્ટુ ટાઉ, રાઈટ? હવે તો વેવફ્રન્ટ ડ્રો કરવા માટે આપણે સી પરથી આ જે સ્ફિયર છે જેની રેડિયસ v2 ઇન્ટુ ટાઉ છે એના પર ટેન્જન્ટ ડ્રો કરીશું. તો જ્યારે આપણે આ રીતના ટેન્જન્ટ ડ્રો કરીએ ત્યારે આવી કંઈક કન્ડિશન થશે અહીંયા, રાઈટ? તો આપણો વેવફ્રન્ટ કેવો થશે? તો આપણે એમાંથી જ્યારે આ લાઈનને કનેક્ટ કરીએ ત્યારે આવી કન્ડિશન થશે, રાઈટ? તો આને આપણે નામ આપી દઈએ સી ડી. તો આ જે આપણો સીડી છે એ સીડી કયો થશે? રિફ્રેક્ટેડ વેવફ્રન્ટ. સો આ થશે આપણો રિફ્રેક્ટેડ એંગલ, રાઈટ? સો આ થશે એંગલ ઓફ ઇન્સિડન્ટ આઈ, રાઈટ? ને આ થશે એંગલ ઓફ રિફ્રેક્શન આર, right? And from the figure we can see that here I greater than R, right? Now we write some sentence, right? So let E1 E2 represent the surface separating medium 1 and 2 as shown in figure, right? This is the medium which separate medium, this is the line E1 E2 which separate the medium 1 and medium 2. V1 and V2 represent the speed of light in medium 1 and medium 2 respectively, right? And here we consider V1 greater than V2. Now, as shown in figure, plane wavefront AB incident on surface of two medium at angle I, right? You can see that. Now, let tau be the time taken by the wavefront to travel the distance BC, right? So the distance is velocity into time. So here in medium 1 velocity is V1, so distance BC is equals to V1 into tau, right? Now, to determine the shape of the refracted wavefront, we draw a sphere of radius V2 tau from point A to the medium 2, right? So here we draw a sphere of radius V2 tau, right? So this is the sphere of radius V2 tau. Now we draw a tangent from point C to the sphere. Now as we connected this point, so CD is the refracted wavefront, right? So see here, so the distance is V2 tau, and so CD represent the refracted wavefront. Now we have to prove the Snell's law. We know the equation n1 sin theta 1 is equals to n2 sin theta 2, right? Now to prove the Snell's law, see this figure here. The theta 1 is angle of incident and theta 2 is angle of refraction, right? So for theta 1, see the triangle here. See the triangle ABC, right? ABC. In this triangle, we know the value of BC. BC is equals to V1 tau. And for theta 2, which is angle of refraction, for this, see the triangle ADC. This triangle ADC, right? So these are the two triangles, first ABC and ADC. Here in triangle ABC, we know the value of BC is equals to V1 tau, and in triangle ADC, we know the value of AD, which is V2 into tau. Now in both triangle, we know that the AC is similar, right? You can see that ABC triangle AC is same, and for triangle ADC, AC is same, right? So here in both triangle, side AC is same, and we know the value of BC and AD. So here for triangle ABC, we use sin I. Sin I is equals to BC upon AC, right? And for triangle ADC, sin R is equals to AD upon AC, right? So as shown in figure, as shown in figure, for triangle ABC, once again for triangle ABC, sin I is equals to BC upon AC, right? Sin I is equals to BC upon AC. Now we know the value of BC. BC is V1 tau, right? So sin I is equals to value of BC V1 tau upon AC. Equation number 1. Now for triangle ADC, right? So for triangle ADC, once again sin R is equals to AD upon AC, right? AD upon AC. So sin R is equals to, we know the value of AD V2 tau, right? So sin R is equals to V2 tau upon AC. Equation number 2. Now we know the Snell's equation n1 sin theta 1 is equals to n2 sin theta 2. So here we take the ratio of equation 1 and equation number 2. So by taking the ratio of equation 1 and 2, so we get sin I upon sin R is equals to, here value of sin I is equals to V1 tau upon AC. So V1 tau upon AC into sin R, we have to write from denominator, sin R V2 tau upon AC. So here AC cancel, so we get V1 tau upon V2 tau, here tau cancel, so we get sin I upon sin R is equals to V1 upon V2. Equation number 3. Right. Now here we can see that, here see this figure, here in this figure we can see that here I greater than R, right? So if I greater than R, so we can say that sin I greater than sin R, right? Or we can say that sin I upon sin R greater than 1. So here see here, sin I upon sin R is equals to V1 upon V2. So if sin I upon sin R greater than 1, so we can say that V1 upon V2 greater than 1. So V1 greater than V2, right? So we can say that the speed in medium 1 is higher than the speed in medium 2, right? So we prove that if I greater than R, then V1 greater than V2, right? Now we have to prove the Snell's equation n1 sin theta 1 is equals to n2 sin theta 2. But here see, sin I upon sin R is equals to V1 upon V2. So we have to prove the relation between the refractive index and the velocity in medium. So we know the absolute refractive index n is equals to C by V, right? We already discussed this in chapter number 9, ray optics. So we know that absolute refractive index, we know that absolute refractive index n is equals to C by V, right? Where C is the speed of light in vacuum, right? And V speed in any medium. So we can say that n1 is equals to C upon V1, right? And n2 is equals to C upon V2, right? So here we have to find out the ratio sin I upon sin R is equals to V1 upon V2. So we have to prove the relation between V1 and upon V2 with the refractive index, right? So we have to find out the value of V1 and V2. So here we formulate V1, so we get V1 is equals to C upon N1, and here V2 is equals to C upon N2, right? We have to find the ratio of V1 and V2. So V1 upon V2 is equals to C upon N1, and value of V2 is C upon N2. So C cancel, so we get V1 upon V2 is equals to N2 upon N1, right? This is our equation number 4, right? So you have to remember these things. V1 upon V2 is equals to N2 upon N1. Now we know the value of V1 upon V2 is equals to N2 upon N1, and see here sin I upon sin R is equals to V1 upon V2. So we, from the equation number 3 and equation number 4, from equation 3 and 4 we get sin I upon sin R is equals to, see here, sin I upon sin R is equals to V1 upon V2. So sin I upon sin R and V1 upon V2, value of V1 upon V2 is N2 upon N1. So N2 upon N1. So by cross product, N1 sin I is equals to N2 sin R. So we know that this is the Snell's law of refraction. N1 sin theta 1 is equals to N2 sin theta 2. So this is the Snell's law of refraction, right? So here you have to remember the equation. First equation, we know that absolute refractive index N is equals to C by V. Then V1 upon V2 is equals to N2 upon N1. And last, N1 sin I is equals to N2 sin I. Right. Now, for exams like JEE on NEET, one concept. First of all, you have to remember this equation. Sin I upon sin R is equals to V1 upon V2 is equals to N2 upon N1, where N is equals to C by V. You already know. Now, we know that the velocity is equals to distance by time, right? So we know that velocity V is equals to distance by time, right? Suppose if there are two waves, so the distance covered by wave is, we know that the distance is called wavelength, right? We denoted wavelength by lambda. So we can write that for wave 1, V1 is equals to, the distance is wavelength lambda 1 and time t, and V2 is equals to lambda 2 upon time t, right? So here the time is same, so time is equals to lambda 1 upon V1, and here time is equals to lambda 2 upon V2, right? So we can compare this and we get lambda 1 upon V1 is equals to lambda 2 upon V2, right? Or we can say that V1 upon lambda 1 is equals to V2 upon lambda 2, or we can say V1 upon V2 is equals to lambda 1 upon lambda 2. So you have to remember this equation, right? This equation is very useful in your examination, right? So the equation is V1 upon lambda 1 is equals to V2 upon lambda 2, or we can say V1 upon V2 is equals to lambda 1 upon lambda 2. Now, so this is the relation between velocity and the wavelength lambda. Okay, thank you.